Hello everyone, thank you for joining me here. So today I'm making some easy peasy broccoli soup. It's one of my favorite recipes. Very simple, limited ingredients, and you can substitute broccoli with cauliflower. And sometimes I've also used spinach instead of broccoli or cauliflower because it's wonderful to have a green soup. So it literally looks like a bright green soup. The only difference is the amount of spinach leaves you use. So here I have about 2 cups of broccoli. So I washed it and cleaned it, chopped it, and I have some spring water on the bottom, and it's in a steaming basket. So I'm going to steam it for about 5 minutes or so. And I had the water boiling already, so it will speed up things. I have here a knob of ginger, 1 green Thai chili, and this is optional. If you feel like you can handle heat, then avoid this. And one thing I forgot to mention in my Instagram story, I posted the ingredient list, and I forgot to mention the curry leaves. So these are the curry leaves. They're very aromatic, so they give a lot of flavor, and they also are a great blood purifier. So I love using curry leaves pretty much in every dish I make. I also have here some raw cashews. The reason I use raw cashews is because it that way it's like you're using your own oil or even dry toasting it. But when you buy toasted cashews, they're usually toasted in some kind of oil and they tend to go rancid. Usually they use canola oil or palm oil, which cause a lot of inflammation. So raw cashew, some organic unrefined cold pressed raw sesame oil, and you can also use ghee, but if you're cooking vegan, then this is the oil I recommend. And some cilantro leaves. I think it's nice and soft, the broccoli. So I'm gonna start this stove here and add just like a tablespoonful of oil. You don't need a lot. And I use 2 cups of broccoli. You can substitute it with 2 cups of cauliflower, or you could use 6 to 8 cups of spinach. Then I'm going to add, you want the oil to heat up a little bit, but you don't want it to start smoking because that's when it's gone too far. So let it heat up a little bit, and you take, now I'm a very intuitive cook, so I tend to cook with my fingers a lot. And my dear friend, the Blue Thunderbird woman, used to have a hard time writing down all these recipes for me, which we are hoping to publish as a cookbook at some point. So I'm gonna use a measuring spoon so that you guys can see. So the oil is nice and hot, and I'm gonna add 1/4 teaspoon of the cumin seed. And once it starts sizzling, you don't want the heat going too high, because it will just burn the seeds. You don't want that to happen. So I'm gonna chop. I like it very spicy, so I have this 1 green chili. And if I can show you guys how the seeds are turning color a little bit, and you can see that they're starting to sizzle. So that's what you want. Once that happens, you just drop your green chili in here and some curry leaves, and then you can either chop your ginger or you can grate it, whatever works. Ultimately, we're going to use a hand blender to blend everything. So I have that little knob of ginger. I'm gonna drop it in here. Smells divine. Now you don't want to add the masala in the hot oil because sometimes that can burn it instantly. So usually what I do is I let the ginger and the leaves cook a little bit. I'm going to show you guys again how it looks. So that's how it is looking. And I think that is done. So it doesn't take very long, just like a minute or so. And then I'm going to drop these cashews in here. And because they are raw, we want to toast them for at least a good 30 seconds so they start changing color. All right, that is starting to look like it's almost done. And I have the heat turned to medium here. So this is how it is looking. And then I have my spices here. So I'm going to put the masala. So I'll use a 1/4 teaspoon. But you know, if you feel like you want more flavor, you can always add it later. Because the spices are toasted, it is safe to you know, eat it, like sprinkle it. Now, why you want the spices toasted is because it's easier on the lining of the GI tract. If you use, because spices are so potent, if you use raw spices, they can make your you know, digestive tract feel very like sensitive. So these broccoli florets are ready. I'm going to, because this was good spring water, I'm gonna drop this and then put this. And we can add a little more water. Now the amount of water depends on the consistency of the soup you want. And then I use this salt, it's called the Soma salt. The pink salt, the Himalayan salt, that is very Agneya, we call it Agneya, meaning it is very heating. So for some people it can cause a lot of heating in their body. The Soma salt, because of the process, they bring in more cooling and nurturing energy while still preserving all the minerals. So it's a really great salt. So I'm adding about a 1/4 teaspoon of this. And this is done, like, you know, all we have to do now is blend it. So depends how you like it. You know, if you like it more creamy, you would blend it longer. If you like it a little bit chunky, then leave it that way. So that is the soup, and we just bring it to boil once. Like, doesn't need a lot of cooking because it's already, you know, steamed. And then I'm going to chop some cilantro for garnish. Now, cilantro, you don't want to cook it. It's best eaten raw. It adds a lot of flavor. If you love cilantro, that's great because it's one of those herbs that also support detox. They only release the toxins but also bind it and make it safe for the toxins to be removed from the body. So you want to eat it every day possibly because we are exposed to so many toxins, garbage, or the slow poison that comes into our water and our vegetables, like the pesticides. Even if you eat organic, there's still a little bit on it. So yeah, this is done. I'm going to drop some cilantro leaves in here. And I have a little bowl here. And then you just squeeze some lime on it. And ready to taste. It's delicious. So hope you enjoyed this simple cooking class. So like I said, instead of broccoli, you could also use cauliflower. Instead of cashews, you could use almond flour if you want. And I would use like a 1/4 cup for that as well. Thank you for watching.